name. D-A-N-Y-O-L, Daniel.
What's going on, you guys? You're watching JayeSpotTV right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave your comments down below so that I can read what you guys have to say. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Daniel J. I'm here with a Scandal review, Season 3, Episode 14, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Let's get right into it. We start off this scene with Cyrus dealing with the death of James. Last episode, we left off. We didn't know who Jake was going to kill. We didn't know if it was going to be David or James. And honey, it was James. He shot him, and he tried to make it look like it was an accident. So we got Cyrus sitting in his office, looking all hurt and shocked and surprised. And I understand that we're supposed to, at this point, feel, kind of feel sorry for Cyrus. And we're supposed to realize that Cyrus really has a heart, and he really cares about James. But you know what? Whatever. Cyrus put that little boy through all kinds of crap, and so sad for him. Liv walks in. She's trying to help him, deal with things. She's like, what's happening? Ethan walks in and just automatically starts blubbering, crying. And Liv is like, oh, Ethan, I need you to concentrate. I need you to do your job. I need you to check on him every 15 minutes. Do not make me fire you. And I'm like, Ethan, baby, you what, poor thing. You just so young and green. You just need, how the hell you walk in and just burst out in tears? I'm gonna need you to get your life. So then we move on to the press. We're in the press room, and basically they have to give a statement. They have to give a statement on what is happening with James, what's going on, and they got this new girl named Sheila, and Sheila is a wreck, okay? Sheila looked like she is nervous. She is shaking like a rattlesnake tail, okay? She looked like she need a cocktail and an electroshock therapy is what she needs. She's just so nervous. She's like, wait a minute, hold on, don't ask me so many questions. I have my notes here. I'm getting to that. Just wait a minute, oh my God. And while all this is going on, Liv notices that the other two reporters, the ones that Jake shot in the head, real professional-like, they're not there. And she's like, where's Vanessa? Where's Shelby? What's going on? So it clicks for her that this may not be just an accident, that James may not have died in a carjacking. So she goes and gets the team. She rounds them up. She's like, look, I need y'all to go do what you do because I don't think that this was an accident. I think it was a hit. And if you wonder why I'm looking down, because I had notes because I have to remember some things. So Liv notices that. So while her team is working on that, she gives Jake a call. Yeah, Jake, baby. Look, I know that we're doing this whole fake relationship thing, but I got a problemo, okay? James, the husband to Cyrus, the crazy maniac psycho that I work with, yeah, he's dead now. And they're saying that it's carjacking, and I kind of need you to look into it because I don't believe that it is. Well, I mean, when you have time, Okay, great. All right, smooches, see you for lunch. And Jake is in the woods, honey. We think he's jogging, and after he get off the phone call, we see that he's burying the bodies of Shelby and Vanessa. So yeah, as far as looking into it, I think he's done all the looking that he can do right now. Okay? Fitz, Millie, Andrew, Cyrus, and Liv, they're all in the Oval Office, and they're talking about what they're going to do with this campaign. Obviously, out of respect, they're going to halt the campaign out of, due to respect for James's death. And Millie, being Millie, she's like, pause. Do you really think that's a good idea? Because, we're working on this whole gun lobby, and you really need to milk this for what it's worth. And Fitz is like, I'm not going to use a friend's death. Sally calls honey, and Sally's like, you know what, I'm so sorry, Mr. President, I assume you're going to pause this campaign out of James, for respect to James. And he's like, yes, Sally. And she's like, well, I just want to let you know that the Langston campaign will do the same and follow suit, out of respect. And Fitz is like, well, thank you, Madam Vice Presidente. And they hang up, and then all of a sudden Leo's like, so look, did he buy it? They're like, good. We can go to Houston, honey, and we can talk to these gun lobbyists and get them on Team Langston while he's sitting in his Oval Office and crying over James. Then we're in the room with Mama Pope and, what's her name? Salami and Pastrami. I'm gonna get her name right. Adnan Salif. There you go. They're talking, and she's like pouring out this money, all of this loot, out of this Gucci bag, and she's like, here you go, the Gucci bag's for free. Adenon apparently has hired Mama Pope for something. We don't know what it is, but Mama Pope's like, I'm gonna make some calls, and she's like, whoa, 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 I thought it was just me and you. And Mama Pope was like, chick, please, if it's just me and you, who's gonna take the fall? Because the damn sure ain't gonna be me. And she was like, well, I thought you were like a terrorist. And she's like, no, honey, I'm not a terrorist. Terrorists, they terrorize, for beliefs of family and religion. And she's like, because I'm bothered by none of those things, I'm more like a facilitator. I don't make bombs, I make money. And I'm like, yes, work, Mama Pope. I don't know why they got you in this ugly wig, but you better work. Huck is looking for this file because Liv called him and she's like, look, I think all of this has to do with Sally Langston murdering her husband, Daniel Douglas. And I need you to go get the Daniel Douglas file, see what, if there's anything useful in there that we can use. And so Huck's in the safe and he notices some things that's been tampered with. And child, it's a camera in the safe. Huck takes the camera and he's looking at the camera and finds out that Quinn, if you remember last episode, was in there getting the file, and he sees that Quinn was opening the safe. So we have Huck telling Liv about Quinn being in the safe, and Olivia's like, well, I mean, what? Why do you have a camera in my safe? And he was like, honey, when the chip thing happened, we had a hole in security and I upgraded it. What was I supposed to do? So anyway, he tells her about Quinn taking the file, seeing the file, getting the information, and it clicks that, oh, if Quinn is looking for this file, then B613 knows everything. And so she rushes to Jake's office, and she's like, how could you do this? How could you do this? You make bad things happen. You make bad things happen. He was a friend. And Jake was like, I did what I had to do. I am command. I did what I had to do. It had to be done. He was like, bad things happen to good people. She was like, no, you make bad things happen. And all of this drama, honey, and I will say this, Jake, he's surprising me, okay, as command. I enjoy Jake being command. I enjoy every minute of it. And she was like, you're just like my father. Fitz handed you the keys and you're just like him. He said, I am nothing like him. I did not pull some raggedy ant out of a hole, some disturbed, broken man to do my bidding. I did it myself. And Liv was like, so he basically tells Olivia that she needs to let it go. She was like, look, James got murdered in a carjacking. They're missing, so sad, it's too bad, but you need to let it go. And she was like, if I don't, he was like, sometimes bad things happen to good people. I was like, did you low-key just threaten her? Like, if you don't let this go, I will be forced to shoot you in the head. I was like, damn, Jake. This episode was a bunch of flashbacks about James and Cyrus, how they met, how they got together. And the funny part is I was watching this on couchtuner.eu, and one of the commenters on there said that the backstory for James and Cyrus might have been a little muffled because in season 2 or even in season 1, I think, he said that they show that Cyrus and James meet on the campaign trail, not in a bar. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know how true that is, and child, I ain't got the time to go do the research. Y'all do the research, comment down below, tell me if it's true. So we have this flashback of Cyrus and James, and they're at the bar, and they're doing this little political chit-chat, and of course James is flirting. He's like, I need you to get this, neck beard together. And Cyrus is like, if you want to play with the big boys, you need to dress a little better. And James was like, really? You think I'm going to take advice from a man who needs to shave his neck? And then we push on forward, and then we have David. Poor David. David is toiling. David is toiling because Jake didn't shoot that ass, okay? That's why David is toiling. He said, look, I'll let you live, but if I let you live, I need you to do some things. And if you don't want to do those things, that's fine. You'll be 8 feet under, okay? You'll be so far underground, no one will care. No one will find you. Abby will cry tears, and we'll move on. And David was like, nope, I want to live. But now he's toiling with this fact that he has to now send a innocent man to jail for a murder that he knows this man didn't commit. By the way, kudos to B613 for just going out and getting someone and being like, look, I can shoot you now, or you can go to jail and get this liver transplant for free that you need to live. And if you don't, you only have 6 months to live anyway. I'm like, how do you blackmail somebody with their life like that? Like that was, I was like, yes, command, do that. So now David's toiling. He's in this place of like, I don't know what to do. And all the while I'm looking at David going like this. You have been around enough to know, baby, there are no clean hands in this game. I don't care how well you want to believe that. There are no clean hands in this game. And you just escaped death, okay? Jake, to me, was the Grim Reaper of this episode, okay? And I'll explain why a little bit later. But he's like, look, you've escaped death. So I need you, David, okay, to get it together, wrap that up, and keep it pushing. You're alive. Yes, 3 people are dead. Yes, you knew them all. But guess what? You could have been in that box. All right? So I need you to get that together. Then we have another flashback, and it's the flashback with Cyrus and James where they're, Fitz is doing a speech, and Cyrus is kind of like, outside repeating the speech, I don't know what the hell that was about, but he was like, and you shall dream for me, and you shall do for me. And I was like, Cyrus, you're confusing me right now. Anyway, James walks out, and he's like, look, I need you to make a move, okay? I'm flirting with you. I think you have a hot mouth. I was like, ew, first of all. I can't even think about James and Cyrus like, ew, that's just nasty. And the fact that Cyrus ain't got nan lips, I was like, what mouth? How hot is his mouth? And then it just made me think about so many other things. And I was like, ew, imagery. I don't want to think about that imagery. Ew. And so they kiss, and it's just like we see the love story happening, and that's pretty much all these flashbacks are. It's a way for us to feel sorry for Cyrus. It's a way for us to kind of link up with how they met, why their relationship was what it was. And all I can say is that I liked the James back then. James back then had a little bit more balls, had a little bit more gusto, and a little bit more oomph. You know, a little pep in his step, and I liked it. I don't know when he turned into the nagging housewife, but I was like, where was that James? Okay, where was that James? Probably would still be living. That's all I have to say. So Mama Pope brings in these people. Apparently she wants to have this meeting with this guy named Ivan. Ivan doesn't show up. He sends 2 of his goons, and she's like, wait a minute. I only talked to Ivan. I don't see an Ivan here. What is your name? And what is your name? She said, being that I only talked to Ivan and he's not here, do you see my dilemma? And Adnan is just like, well, maybe we can, you know, get a plan. Maybe we can set up a meeting. And Mama Pope pulls out a gun, shoots one guy, and she's like, hold up, Dimitri, or whatever the hell his name was. She's like, pause. She said, look, you tell Mr. Ivan that I'm so sorry for his loss and to call me when he's ready to meet, okay? Okay, great. You're dismissed. I was like, what? I knew that Mama Pope was, you know, I knew all the popes, honey. They all crazy. They all do what it takes. And I don't give a damn what Olivia got to say about her daddy or her mama, honey. She is their child for sure. She does exactly what needs to be done. I think the popes themselves, they need a show. We need a spin-off called The Popes, honey, because oh, this is some goodness, honey. Right here, I was living for this moment. Now, I know all of us are supposed to be, like, really intrigued into this Harrison storyline with him and Adnan Salami, and I just, you know, I'm over it. Like, I don't know how to really take this because they haven't really fleshed anything out. They're really trying, I don't know what they're trying to do, actually, you know? I feel like Harrison, it has no reason to be on the show at this point. They gave us a little spice with him, you know, and Adnan Salami having sex on the desk, and we know that he has some dealings with her, but we still don't know exactly what it is. And for her to have been, in name at least, be this big thing that he's so afraid of, like he has to leave the country now, I'm like, okay, what's really the deal with this chick? So in this next scene where we have her coming to Harrison basically saying, okay, so you're well connected, Olivia knows people, I may need your help. I'm like, wait a minute. First, he's terrified of you. Then you get here into the States. You guys have sex. Now you're asking for his help because you're afraid of Mama Pope because she just shot some man in front of you, and you weren't expecting that. Like, what's the deal? I'm really confused. At this point, honey, Harrison could die. And there's nothing about him relevant right now in this story outside of A9 Salami, and we don't know what that storyline is yet. So again, I'm really upset with the pacing of this show. I just really am. I know, like I said, this is a better episode. I was really, really, really surprised at this particular episode, because the last 3 episodes, honey, I've been like, what? I've been almost ready to quit watching Scandal. That's how bad they were. But this episode kind of redeemed the show. But the pacing is still not what it needs to be. I'm used to being on the edge of my seat. I'm used to being out of breath at every commercial. I'm used to just my eyes glued to the television set, like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to go on. I just feel like I'm going to have a heart attack right now. Now I'm just like sitting back, I'm relaxed, I'm doing laundry while Scandal is on, I'm cooking while Scandal... None of that was going on in the first 2 seasons. None of that. When Scandal was on, honey, time stopped, the world stopped. Don't call me, don't text me, don't tweet me, don't Facebook me, don't knock on my door unless you want to get cussed out, because Scandal is on. And now it's a little more lax. I don't enjoy the pacing. I don't know what the change is. I don't know if it's the writing, if it's the directing, whatever it is, I do not enjoy it. And so because of that, this whole A9 Salami thing is just really bothering me. So then we have Jake and David. Jake walks into David's office and he's like, look, I gave you a perfectly good suspect. Why hasn't there been an arrest? Like, do I have to put his car in somebody's house? Like, because I will. Because if I have to put the car... And he's like, no, I just, He said, then why did you call the guy? And he was like, because I needed to explain things. Of course not explain the things that you let me go with my life. But, whatever. He's like, look, bottom line is either you put the dude in jail or I kill you. Like, what, these are your options, David. Okay, I need for you to utilize what it is I've given you, and I need you to utilize it fast. And Jake just walks out, and I'm like, oh, yes, Command Jake. I love it. I like Command Jake, okay? I am loving Command Jake. Then we have this scene that just makes this entire episode just worth watching. It's the scene between Papa Pope and Olivia. And any scene that they're in together, I absolutely love, because he gives it to Liv, and I love it, every minute of it. And so she's sitting on the bench. They're at their favorite place where she used to go as a little girl, whatever. And he walks up, he's like, what? And she's like, can you for like 5 seconds just, be a dad? Can you just say hello? Can you just say hello? And he's like, hello, Olivia. What do you want? I said, damn, Papa Pope, you don't be playing. She's like, I just need a dad right now. Like, I need my dad. Can you just be a dad? And he's like, oh, what the bleep? And sits on down. And he's like, fine, I'll be a father for like 10 minutes. Because after that, I got, things to do and people to kill. So Olivia wants to know, what is the point? She wants to know, what's the point if everybody that she loves is a monster? What is the point of if there are no white hats? What is the point if the deck is always stacked? Like, what is the point of doing what we do if everybody's in on it? If nobody's hands are clean? Like, what's going on? And so Papa Pope basically shoots out this number. He's like, 183. 183 people are the number of people that I am responsible for who are dead. He's like, I didn't kill 183 people, but I am responsible for 183 people's deaths. He said, I knew their names. I knew if they had dogs, cats, children, if they would be missed. And he goes into just explaining what the pressure is of being command. And he was like, if there's any worst thing to be, it's just to be command. It's like being the hand of God. And he's like, so if you want to punish Jake for doing whatever, then just know that being command is the worst punishment he could ever have, because he has to live with that every day of his life, doing what has to be done, giving out those orders, being responsible for that's his punishment. He has to carry that with him every day of his life, Olivia, every day. If the deck is always stacked, if everybody you loved is monsters and nobody we're all in the dark, and we need you to drag us into the light. He said, everybody deserves to be saved, even the monsters. And I said, Papa Pope, you better preach. You better talk about the Lord and forgiveness and saving grace and salvation. I said, yes. That, for real though, like if we was in church, and preachers across America, if you watch Scandal, you better grab hold of Papa Pope and put that in your sermon, because that'll preach. He said everybody deserves to be saved. He said even the monsters, and he said we are in a battle in the darkness, and he said you need to drag us into the light. That is the hope. That is the purpose. He said at least I hope that's the purpose for you. Fast forward, Millie and Andrew, they in Houston, they just got through talking to the gun lobby people, and honey, one thing leads to another, the other thing leads to the one thing, and next thing you know, Millie has become the proverbial whore that she so despised in Olivia Pope. I said, finally, Millie got some. Yes, I was waiting for this moment. I was waiting for Millie to get some good old schlong in her system so that she could just realize that, boo, your husband is not in love with you, okay? Play the game, get you a man. At least this man loves you. Andrew is in love with this woman, but she's married. Like, you are more like Olivia than you think. And a part of me I was a little angry because Millie has always played this high horse, I'm better than you role. Honey, no, you and Olivia are exactly the same, okay? You're married, you did not keep your knees closed this time. Andrew was laying that pimping on strong, and those knees said, hello, I'm open, please enter the gates of heaven. Hello, Bruno Mars. Now we get to the scene that, of course, just, I had no words. I had no breath. I think I really stopped breathing for like at least 60 seconds because Quinn walks into her apartment. Huck is there. She's like, what are you doing here? Are you here for more teeth? And he's like, no, actually, I'm here to kill you. I'm here to just eliminate you completely out of the picture. And she tries to go for a gun, but Huck smashes on that girl, pins her up against the wall, and then he starts talking to her. And he's like, you know what? When I saw you on the camera, I had time to think. I trained you. I made you. And he said, so if I saw you on that camera, that means you wanted me to see you because I trained you, which means you know how to make sure that the camera wasn't on. You know how to be not seen. So maybe you are a gladiator. And honey, Quinn spits in this man's face, and it was a good, it was spat. She spat in this man's face. And I said, damn it, Quinn and Huck, y'all better act because I don't know how I would do to know that I had to stand in a place on set and have some white woman spit in my face. I was just like, I would have slit your throat just right there, just on GP. So I was just, that part alone shocked me. Then all of a sudden, Quinn and Huck is kissing. Honey, they playing tonsil hockey. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on here? Like, this is not, huh? I'm confused, and I'm sure that some people saw it coming. I did not see that coming, okay? I did not see some passionate kiss of love and death and torture coming for Quinn and Huck. And so Huck was like, oh my God, I just kissed you, like, oh my God. And she's like, you know what, if you're not gonna kill me, get the hell out. And he leaves. And I'm like, oh, and Quinn, honey, she's up against that wall, she's like, and I was like, I understand, because he kissed the hell out of her with your spit on his face. That's nasty. The thought of that just makes me want to vomit in my mouth just a little bit. But the kiss, I was just like, oh my God. And you know, he has a point. She wants to be seen. Maybe she's playing both sides. And I have to say that the darker that Quinn gets and the more cojones that Quinn seems to carry in her vagina, I'm liking Quinn a little bit better because I was just at a point where it's like, kill her, shoot her in the face, get her off the show, I'm done with her. So I was just like, yes, Quinn, I'm enjoying you. That kiss though, it just took me over the moon. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. Then we move on to Olivia being in the office, and everybody is just busting in her office. Abby busts in because she's worried about David, about this whole thing with Jake, and being, having his life being in danger. Then all of a sudden, Harrison comes in talking about the Adnan Salami thing, and then Huck comes in talking about Quinn, and Olivia's just sitting there, and all of a sudden there's this grin. And this is what the grin means. The grin means that there are people to save. The talk she had with Daddy was helpful. He basically let her know, look, There's always somebody to save. And here you go. You got all these people to save. You got Abby, David, you got Harrison's Admin Salami, you got Huck's Quinn, you got crap to do. You got shit to handle. Go handle it. And she just sits there with this smile, and then we cut to her talk with David. So he's like, look, if you come to give me some pep talk, I'm not trying to have it. And she's like, look, just sit down, okay? She's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I just can't allow these innocent people to go to jail. I know that. She's like, look, you're so focused on Jake. Jake is not the bad guy. B613, that's the bad guy. And if you join me, we can take down that company brick by brick. It is an army of two. We have to be patient. We have to play the game, but damn it, we can win. And David's just like, oh, so opposing your boyfriend would get me killed, but opposing the company and the organization for which your boyfriend runs, that somehow is going to save my life? What's going on? So basically they are in a truce, David and Olivia, the gladiators and David, and you know, they're trying to take down B613. And I guess for Olivia, she's like, if I take down B613, it'll get rid of all my problems. But honey, we already know you in for a long ride. A long ride. We're back with Cyrus, and Olivia walks in, and he basically is looking at her like, okay, so we've got this guy. He's the cause for James's death, and that's it. Like, that's it. And she's like, yeah, we have some information. I'm going to get with Sheila, the wreck of a press secretary. And Cyrus is like, no, I'm going to go talk to the person. And Olivia's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, no, you can't go out there. And so as soon as he gets out there, child, and he says James's name, he just loses it. And I have to say, I laughed only because his cry was just so hideous. It was so, like, it wasn't even like a I feel sorry for you cry. Like, it was just like, why did you cry like that? As an actor, I want to know, what was the choice that made you cry like that? He reminded me of that dude from YouTube when he was talking to his son from Beyond Levine's Side, and he just out of nowhere. I was like, Cyrus, what's really going on? But I will say that it was good to see Cyrus hurting. It felt good, and not in a good way like, oh, I feel sorry for Cyrus. I needed Cyrus to feel pain for all of the crap that he put James through. I was happy that he felt pain. I was happy that he was hurt. And it was a touching moment. You know, Fitz comes and he's hugging him and he's trying to, you know, help him off the podium. But I was like, yes, Cyrus, that is what you should feel. That is the pain you should feel. All of the shat that you put your husband through, all of the crap that you did to that man, the lying, the sneaking, the secrets, all of it. That's what you're supposed to feel. So I was glad that Cyrus, you know, had a heart so that he could feel the pain of what happened to his husband and all of the stuff that he did so that he could feel sorry for it. So that's what I was happy about. You may not agree with me, but I really don't give a damn. So we move to the last scene, which basically is the first scene of the entire episode that we see. And Jake is putting the dead girls in the trunk, and he walks over, and James is on the floor. He flips James over, and he's like, look, James, I'm sorry, dude, okay? I'm sorry that I had to shoot you. I'm sorry that it has to hurt. I'm sorry that I have to make it look like an accident. I'm sorry that I couldn't just kill you quick and easy and make it professional. But you have to be the beard. You have to be the reason that no one knows I was here. Okay? So it's going to be painful. You got a few minutes, you know, and I'm going to stay with you because, you know, I don't have anything to do. I have a dinner date, maybe later, and a shower to take at Liv's, you know, so I can stay with you until you're dead. But just know, man, that I'm truly sorry. Like, you know, dap it out, pound, we're dogs, you know, nothing personal, but you were just in my way. And I have to protect the Republic. And you, unfortunately, came against the Republic. Just know your daughter's going to be safe. You know, nothing's going to happen to her. And I'm not going to leave you in your time of need. You're not going to die alone. I'm going to stay here until the end. And I was just sitting there like, oh my God, Jake has become the Grim Reaper, okay? Jake is the Grim Reaper. He's like, yes, I am death. I'm here. Come with me. Come with me. That's it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think is happening with Scandal. Let me know how you're enjoying the last few episodes. Is the pacing annoying you? Do you think anything has changed with the show? What do you think is going to happen with next week's episode? Leave all of that down below and we will have a fabulous, cute conversation about that. And as always, you can follow me at Daniel J on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And make sure you go to onthejspot.com, sign up to become a JScriber. You put in your first name, last name, your email, press JScribe, and then you signed up to get our weekly newsletter that basically gives you updates on what's happening with the show, the radio show, this show, JayeSpotTV, anything happening with me, and of course the businesses that are promoting through On the JSpot. So it keeps you in the loop about everything. Until next time, I am your host, Daniel J. Love my JScribers. Thanks for the support. Deuces, my mooses. Daniel J, that's my name. D-A-N-Y-O-L. Daniel J, that's my name. Get it together, say Daniel J, that's my name.